Ethereum, what happened there? All right, we were going down, we were in a downtrend, and I was posting, hey, I want to accumulate in this demand zone. And this demand zone was created by this aggressive push up, going down, push up, and then there was your demand zone right there. Boom, put it in your chart, and then we already formed a second tap almost. But this range was a bit weird to trade because it was a distribution going over into an accumulation. I was drawing here a distribution which didn't hit its target yet, going over into an accumulation and go higher with target the all-time high. All right, look what happened, because we were in this range, and let's draw a range from, and this is interesting, high to low, because you made a distribution range here. This is a distribution range with your 1, with your 2, and with your 3. So this is a distribution. The distribution hit its target right there, but let's extend the range and let's see where we made our taps, because this was one hell of a deviation. This was one big deviation, but on a higher time frame it is completely valid. So this was essentially your tap 2. I know it sounds weird, but it was your tap 2. On a higher time frame it is completely valid. So we were in this demand zone, and it was a great place to accumulate. You left those highs there to grab. You didn't grab all those highs. So this was liquidity as well. And that's a reason for market makers to go. But we already grabbed that. So let's extend our range to our tap 2. And it's weird to call it a tap 2, but you know what I mean. It is a deviation of the range, but it is just a very, very large deviation before going higher. And on a higher time frame, it's valid, believe me. So we were going higher, we're grabbing all that liquidity, which is not the nicest thing to do. Did we come into this supply? No, we came into this supply and mitigated that supply and went lower. But it's still a very nice place to bounce, because you are in that demand zone, and I expected a large move up because you were trending down heavy. You were in a heavy downtrend and you mitigated high time frame demand. So when you're in a heavy downtrend and you break that structure right there almost, and then forming a distribution, you could expect to move up. So what happened here? Did we grab extreme liquidity? Because the extreme liquidity in this range is the first move up before then go down and then go up. So the first move down before going up, that is your extreme liquidity. Boom, that's perfectly grabbed right there on our tap 3. Let's see if that's true. Yeah, that is true. So it was perfectly tapped, and now you're waiting for a break of structure. And this is a more advanced model. If you want to look how to trade distributions into accumulations perfectly, then please watch the video on my YouTube 4 days ago, I think, on hype. And now you're watching for a break of structure, and you created demand here as well, which is very nice for your break of structure. I didn't take this trade because it was just a little bit weird trade, and I took the long on Bitcoin, which was very nice as well, because Bitcoin was looking cleaner, and this was just a very weird model. But I'm validating it right now, and I'm showing the context, which is the most important thing of this video, is that the context is clear, that you need to accumulate here to go higher because you want to go in an uptrend again. And what happened here? We broke structure, very low time frame. We had an aggressive move down, but that was clearly manipulation to grab that extreme liquidity point. And that extreme liquidity point is your extreme liquidity point for a reason, because you can see market makers grab all the liquidity there to push higher. Your entry is gonna be there above the break of structure. Stop loss goes below the low. And as I said in my on my Twitter, my target was the all-time high. I literally prepared this to the T. I literally prepared this perfectly. So the target was the all-time high, and let's see what happened, because we're gonna extend our target, and we just play it out. And I should have taken this trade, of course, but in hindsight it's very easy to talk. And there was your target hit. I would of course take some profit at a range high, take some profit at some supply zones, but just context wise, an amazing trade. And I hope you understand the context. And this was harder to trade than the Bitcoin long I took, which is why I took the Bitcoin long. But this was the video today. Hope you learned something, and see you in the next one. Ciao, ciao.